Xavi is among the list of candidates at Ajax as a new coach next season, and this is a report coming from Tony Juan Martí. Now, the first thing that I do want to say is this: everything that has been reported coming from Barcelona has been negative reports. Like, we're talking about reports about Mikel Faye leaving Barcelona, potentially Barcelona not standing a chance against PSG, and now there's reports assuming that Xavi Hernandez is going to be an option for Ajax in the middle of Barcelona's season. Like, why report on this today? It's all about the negative news. Like, I cannot even think about no other club where they talk about their own managers going to a different club next season. Like, look at Jurgen Klopp. When he announced that he was leaving Liverpool, there wasn't a single source coming from England that claimed Klopp was going to go to a different club after in 2025 or in 2026. It just did not exist. But at Barcelona, everything is just negative. Everything is about, oh my God, Xavi Hernandez announced his departure for later in the summer. He's going to be going to this club or that club. Like, why make those reports up? Even if it's true, even if you heard from somebody, why report on that and put it out to the media? So let's just assume that Xavi Hernandez leaves. Let's say that Xavi leaves in the summer. Maybe he says, you know what, I'm going to be coaching next season. I feel fine now. Or he just says, I'm going to be coaching in 2025. In the end, let's just assume that Xavi Hernandez leaves Barcelona in the summer of 2024. Because usually we talk about how there is always a chance that Xavi might stay because we might go far in the league and also in the Champions League. But again, let's just say that Xavi Hernandez says, even if we win everything, I will be leaving. Do I believe that Ajax is a good option? Of course, I think that it is a perfect matchup. Last week, the head coach of Ajax did say that he is not going to be continuing next season, and that is why Ajax are looking for a brand new coach, and Xavi is among those options. And I believe that if Xavi does go to Ajax, there is going to be less pressure. He would be able to focus on developing the young players, which is something that he is really good at. Hence, the reason why Barcelona have been able to use Cubarsí, Hector Fort, Lamine Yamal on such a great level. And then, of course, they're going to be expecting for Xavi to make Ajax compete for the league. That's basically it. Like, there's nothing about Ajax needs to win the Champions League, La Liga, and then play tiki-taka style, and overall just win the treble with brand new players every season coming from La Masia. There is going to be none of that at Ajax. Ajax are currently in 5th place in the league. The top 3 is PSV, Feyenoord, and FC Twente. And if you look at the past 4 to 5 years on how Ajax has been doing in the league, in the 2019-2020 season, they were in 1st place. The next season after that, again, they were in 1st place. In 2021-2022, the 3rd season after 2019, again, they were in 1st place. But then came the 2022-2023 season, and they ended up being in 3rd place. Now, in the current season, they're in 5th. And so as you can see that Ajax, they keep falling. And I'm assuming the reason why Ajax are failing right now and why they're going on a down spiral is because of the exit of Ten Hag, who went to Manchester United. Ajax might potentially finish their worst season since the 1999-2000 season. Like, literally, they're just that bad. They have also been knocked out in the Europa Conference League from Aston Villa. So they are just not a good team. And again, since Ten Hag left, they have been unable to reignite the level that they were at before. Now, let's also keep in mind that Ajax lost a lot of players over the past 4 to 5 years. Lisandro Martinez went to Manchester United. Frankie de Jong, 5 years ago, went to Barcelona. De Ligt went to Juventus. That team that everybody was talking about a few years ago, it is just gone. And they're gone, and there's no new coach, and everything is just a mess over there. So when Xavi, if he does arrive, ends up coaching Ajax, the expectations is going to be very, very low. There's literally no pressure. And most importantly, once he does arrive, Ajax, right, the board and also the fans are going to give Xavi time to build his sporting project there. Something that he does not get at Barcelona, which is the reason why Xavi Hernandez is leaving so early. Ajax this season is the youngest in the league. Their average age is like 22 years old and 163 days. They do contain a lot of academy players like Kenneth Taylor. So there is a few youth talented players here and there, but overall it has also been claimed that Ajax do have players that are just not good enough, and Ajax do need to sign better players. Even Snyder, a legend of the Netherlands, claimed that the players at Ajax are just not good enough. So here's going to be the other question, right? Seeing the context of Ajax and who they are now, my number one question is, would Xavi even accept this job? Because the situation that Xavi Hernandez could put himself in is very similar to how it was with Barcelona back in 2021. But like I said, the only difference is that once he does join Ajax and the board and the fans are going to give Xavi time. But overall, it is the exact same situation. Xavi's going to need to do a big job to carry this team to what it used to be, and to be successful again, to compete for the Champions League, to be in the top 2 or top 3 of their respective league. If Xavi does accept it, I do think that he'll do a great job, because when you give a coach time, they eventually find out the solutions. Very similar to how Arteta found the solutions for Arsenal. Arsenal gave Arteta 3 years before they started criticizing the coach. And now look at where Arsenal are at now. After a couple of more signings, after the third year, now Arsenal are always in the conversation to compete for the Premier League. And I also believe that if Xavi does take this job, he's definitely going to be calling Johan Cruyff. Johan Cruyff has great connections at Ajax, and he knows how to scout for players. Johan Cruyff and Xavi have worked together before at Barcelona, but Johan Cruyff did leave about 9 to 10 months ago. And I was looking at his current jobs on what Johan Cruyff is doing right now. He's not doing anything. Like, he has no jobs. So I do think that Xavi Hernandez would call him up to join him at Ajax. And I think that if he does start, whether it's in 2024 or in 2025, I think that by 2027, Xavi would successfully bring out the youngsters to the first team. And we'll see something very similar to what Ten Hag was doing with Ajax back in 2019 and 2020. But the question still remains, does Xavi want it? Does he want this job? Because what if Xavi just says, I want to go to a top earning club. I don't want to go to a club where there's a lot of like rebuilding and there's not a lot of finances, which ultimately does mean that he wants to go to a normal club. What if he just wants to do that? What if he doesn't want to go to a Dortmund or an Ajax team and go to a club where they can spend multi-millions per transfer window? So Xavi can finally build a team that he does want. Like, I would assume that he would love to say, okay, on my first day, I want to sign this player, and that player, and I want these 3 players out. I think Xavi Hernandez wants that type of opportunity. And I think that if he takes that type of approach, there's only 3 teams that I can think of that can get Xavi what he wants. And that is Chelsea, Liverpool, and Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich don't have the same exact spending power like Liverpool or Chelsea, but Bayern are still in the conversations. They can still say we can sign a 50 million euro player here and there, maybe a 70 million euro player here and there. Definitely much better than Barcelona, because Barcelona, when you tell them that you have to buy a 30 million euro player, they end up almost passing out. And these teams like Chelsea, Liverpool, and Bayern Munich, they have 2 things in common: money, and the coach that they currently have will not be there next season. Chelsea are definitely going to be switching coaches. Klopp has said that he is leaving in the summer. Tuchel is not going to be coaching Bayern in the summer. And you can say like, oh, but Kevin, remember, Xabi Alonso might take on the job of Bayern Munich. No, Xabi Alonso already said that he wants to continue at Bayer Leverkusen. So even Bayern can be a real option. And Xavi also said before, a few months ago or years ago, he said that one day I would love to work in the Premier League. And let me tell you guys, right? Like, now that I think about it, the Premier League, whether it's next season or the season after that, they might have Xavi coaching Liverpool, Pep Guardiola coaching City, and Arteta coaching Arsenal. Let me also add another one in there, Emery coaching Aston Villa. Whether it's in a year or 2, when we do see the Premier League by that time, if it ends up being great, like it always has been, and reaches another level, they better thank Spanish football, because all of these coaches here, they're coming from Spain. I would also like to add in maybe AC Milan. Like, AC Milan definitely don't have the exact same type of spending power compared to Bayern Munich, Liverpool, or Chelsea, but AC Milan would be a decent option. I can see him going to a club like that because there's also less pressure compared to going to a team like Chelsea, Liverpool, or Bayern. And look, I am going to follow Xavi wherever he does go. I don't care if he goes to the Premier League, the Italian league, or maybe if he goes to Ajax, I will follow Xavi because I would like to follow his work. Obviously, I would not make videos about it because, you know, I'm here supporting Barcelona. I have this channel. I'm busy. There's like 2 or 3 videos I have to make like every day. I would like to talk about maybe what Xavi does with his work with other teams if he ends up leaving, assuming that he leaves. And usually, like, I like to talk about like many other things. I do like to talk about Arsenal. I do like to talk about Liverpool, Atletico Madrid sometimes, maybe even Bayern Munich, AC Milan, Inter Milan, and I also do definitely look at other teams. But the only thing that's making me continue to support Barcelona is my love for this club. Because if I did not have a lot of love for this club, I would have been leaving. I would have left like 3 or 4 years ago, because the amount of toxic fans, the amount of, you know, like managers that have to go in and out because we simply don't allow them, is just too much. And also like all of this negative media that we carry on with supporting Barcelona is just too much. Like, I don't get it. Like, we don't get any of this. Like, if you were a supporter at Liverpool or Arsenal or Man City or Inter Milan or AC Milan, all of the drama, all of the toxic fan bases come from Barcelona itself. And so like, if I had less love than what I do now, I would have been leaving. I would have gone to go talk about Liverpool, AC Milan, City, whatever does interest me. And so in the end, the goal is to keep Xavi. We have already heard reports about Rafa Marquez maybe coming in to coach Barcelona, and I'm like, dude, like, really? We're really going to let all of this go, this whole sporting project with Xavi, just to replace him with Rafa Marquez? It has been reported from Sport, right? And they have claimed that the board believes that Xavi staying as coach is the most feasible and beneficial thing for the well-being of the club. So even them, even the people within the board of Barcelona know that if Xavi leaves, they're screwed. Like, it literally says for the well-being of the club. If Xavi leaves, deep down they know that Barcelona are going to have to eat dirt. We're going to have to restart everything, and apparently Rafa Marquez is our only option to replace Xavi Hernandez. I have already laid out my plans on what I want to do and what I assume Joan Laporta is going to want to do. And I think that is the best one, and that is for Laporta to say, I want to continue with Xavi. Xavi should stay. Xavi agrees, and Xavi stays until 2026. And then in the summer of 2026, 2026 if he wants to stay or not. That's great. If he leaves, we introduce Pep Guardiola after Pep Guardiola takes a year off after coaching Man City for like 8 years. But we'll see. Right now, let's take it step by step. Let's see what Barcelona do against PSG. That is going to be wrapped in today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.